The history of anime is marked by unforgettable battles, iconic characters, and moments that transcend the screen, remaining forever in the memory of fans. Among explosions of energy, colossal powers, and brilliant strategies, there is a simple yet meaningful element: the punch. It is not just a physical blow, but a gesture of fury, justice, revenge, or perseverance. Today, we dive into an intense journey, exploring the 10 most brutal punches in anime history. Get ready, because each one carries not only visual impact, but also emotional and narrative weight. 1. United States of Smash, All Might versus All for One. My Hero Academia. Imagine a hero who symbolizes the hope of an entire generation. All Might, even injured and weakened, puts all his remaining strength against the greatest villain, All for One. The punch known as United States of Smash is not just power, it is the embodiment of a legacy that must be passed on. When All Might lands this blow, every fan feels the weight of history, the end of an era and the birth of another. The ground shatters, the air vibrates, and hearts race. This punch was a farewell to the hero's glory and a greeting to the future, marked by courage. 2. Gon versus Neferpitou, Hunter x Hunter. Few moments in anime are as charged with emotion as Gon's transformation after Kite's death. Pain, frustration, and rage build up until they explode in a single instant that changes everything. When Gon faces Neferpitou, he is not just fighting, he is sacrificing his own innocence. The punch that strikes Pitou is brutal, desperate, and relentless. Each hit carries the vengeance of a child who has lost hope. It is not just a fight scene, but a portrait of youth destroyed, a passage into pain and maturity. 3. Luffy punching a celestial dragon, One Piece. The world of One Piece is ruled by cruel laws and unjust hierarchies. The celestial dragons stand at the top of corruption and arrogance, living like untouchable gods. When Luffy decides to punch Saint Charlos, he is not just breaking the nose of an arrogant noble, he is breaking the very system that oppresses millions. That punch echoes as a cry of freedom, a response to abuse of power. The crowd, inside and outside the story, cheers for this act of rebellion. It was one of the most liberating and emotional moments in One Piece, showing that Luffy's true strength lies not only in his fists, but in his courage to face the unacceptable. 4. Edward Elric versus Father, Full Metal Alchemist, Brotherhood. Edward was always the stubborn alchemist, guided by morality and his search for redemption. In the final confrontation against Father, a near-divine being seeking God's power, Edward has the chance to end it all. His punch is not only physical, it is symbolic. It is humanity's fist saying enough to false divinity. There was no spectacular transmutation, no complex alchemy, just a simple human punch that ended one of anime's greatest confrontations. 5. Goku's Dragon Fist, Dragon Ball Z Wrath of the Dragon. Dragon Ball is a universe full of legendary punches, but the Dragon Fist deserves special mention. Though not canon to the main series, it perfectly represents Goku's grandeur. When he unleashes the punch, a golden dragon emerges, piercing the enemy, showcasing the near-divine power he achieved. The brutality lies not just in the physical impact, but in the animation itself. Vibrant, explosive, unforgettable. A punch that bursts off the screen and into fans' memories. 6. Naruto versus Toneri, The Last. Naruto, the movie. Naruto was always the rejected, lonely boy searching for recognition. In The Last, now an adult and powerful, he faces Toneri in a colossal battle. The punch he delivers is not just pure energy. It is the culmination of years of struggle, friendship, and love. When Naruto's fist strikes Toneri, craters form, the ground shatters, an overwhelming force dominates the screen. This punch became iconic, not only for its brutality, but also for the beauty of the animation and its emotional weight. 7. Jonathan Joestar versus Dio, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Few rivalries are as iconic as Jonathan and Dio. When Jonathan lands his punch on Dio, it is not just a fight, but the climax of a story filled with betrayal, ambition, and courage. The impact transcends combat. It is Jonathan's pure heart against Dio's darkness. Brutal, decisive, and full of emotion, this punch became a landmark in JoJo's history, paving the way for everything that would come in the Joestar saga. 8. Giorno and the 7-Page Punch, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Wind. If there is a moment that defines JoJo's exaggerated and stylish essence, it is the legendary 7-Page Muda. Giorno, in unstoppable frenzy, unleashes a sequence of punches lasting entire manga pages and long minutes in animation. Brutal, excessive, and incredibly stylish, this scene is a feast for the eyes and ears. It is not just about defeating the enemy, but crushing him completely, showing that Giorno carries Joestar's legacy in every punch. 9. Hokuto no Ken, Kenshiro and the Fist of Doom, Omae wa mu Shinderu. The phrase that marked generations is followed by one of anime's most brutal executions. Kenshiro, master of Hokuto Shinken, strikes vital points, making his enemies explode from within. Pure, unfiltered brutality. Each punch from Kenshiro is a verdict, an inevitable sentence. This very brutality is what made Hokuto no Ken an eternal classic, revered to this day. 10. Naruto vs. Neji, Naruto Classic. Before becoming the village hero, Naruto was an underestimated boy, seen as weak and talentless. During the Chunin exam, he faces Neji, a genius of the Hyuga clan. The punch Naruto lands is much more than victory in combat. It is proof that determination can overcome destiny, that effort can surpass innate talent. The brutality of the impact mixes with the strength of the message. Never underestimate those who refuse to give up. These 10 punches represent much more than simple strikes in battle. They are expressions of humanity, emotion, rage, and hope. Each is etched in anime history because it translates universal feelings into a simple, direct gesture, the clenched fist. From All Might's emotional farewell, to Luffy's cry for freedom, to Gon's brutal frenzy and Edward Elric's relentless justice, these moments prove that in anime, a punch can carry the weight of the world. And so, as we recall each scene, we see that the impact of a punch is not only in the force against the enemy, but in the hearts it touches in those who watch. In the end, the true brutality lies in the emotion that remains long after the battle ends. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel to receive our next videos. Thank you for watching. See you next time.